Okay, so today we're going to do an example of interpreting a graph when we have context to it. So here, interpreting a graph, and we're going to bring all the concepts that we talked about in this section together, or at least most of them. But if we look at this graph here, so this is a graph depicting swimming pool water level over time. So we've got on the x-axis, or excuse me, the y-axis, we've got the number of gallons of water in the pool, and then these are the hours that have progressed, and you can see that the graph is doing some things over time. And so we're going to use this graph and answer some questions. So the first question is what is the maximum number of gallons of water in the pool when in the pool? Okay, so what is the maximum gallons? Okay, the maximum number of gallons, well, the maximum gallons is going to happen right here, okay, at 3,000. So the answer to this one is 3,000 gallons. Okay, and then the second part of that question is when is it reached? Well, it's increasing here and it reaches the maximum water level at, the maximum water level is 3,000 gallons, and it occurs after 24 hours, or excuse me, 25 hours. So 25 after, so 25 hours when it starts to be filled. Okay, so that's the answers for part A. Now part B says, for how long is the water level increasing, decreasing, constant? So how long is the water level increasing? Well, if we look at it, time is going this way, so it's increasing left to right, so it's increasing from this point to this point. That's when it stops increasing. So from 0 to 25 hours. So 25 hours, so for how long is the water increasing? 25 hours. Okay. What about decreasing? Well, where does it start to decrease? Well, it starts decreasing right here after 50 hours, and it continues to decrease from 50 hours to 75 hours after we started. So what's that time lapse? That's going to be 25 hours. So it was decreasing for 25 hours. And then how long has the water level been constant? Well, it's constant here and here, and it's also constant from here to here. And so it's constant from 25 hours to 50, so that's 25-hour time lapse here, and it's also constant from 75 to 100 hours after it was filled. So this would be a total of 50 hours that the water level was constant. Okay. Now, what about part C? Part C says how many gallons of water are in the pool after 90 hours? Okay. Well, now if we look at this here, it looks like it's increments of 25. So if we look at this halfway, this is going to be 12 and a half, right? So these are going to be halfway marks. So if we go from here and we add 15, or excuse me, if we add 12 and a half, we're going to get right about what? 87 and a half. So I would say, we're going to be in this range here. It doesn't have to be exact, but we're going to be somewhere over here for 90. And so if we use the graph, it says, well, how many gallons of water? Well, if we come up to here, we're going to be in this area here, which means that the number of gallons is going to be 2,000. So the answer to this question is 2,000 gallons. Okay, so the water level after 90 hours was 2,000 gallons. Okay, now, another question is, can you give a situation that would explain what's going on here with this situation, with this pool? Okay, So again, you don't have to be detailed, you don't have to come up with all these elaborate things, but just realize that, hey, at the beginning, for example, at the beginning at 0 hours, we had no water in the pool. So it was empty, right? And then they started filling up the pool. The first 25 hours, they filled up the pool, right? Then they stopped filling up the pool, so they reached the water level that I guess they wanted. And they just stopped, right? So then for the next 25 hours, the water level stays constant. So they stopped filling the pool up. Then after 50 hours, they started to drain the pool, right? So this wouldn't account for evaporation, so they're draining the pool for whatever reason, doesn't matter. They're draining the pool, so that would account for the decrease. And then 25 hours after that, they stop draining the pool, and of course, from that point forward, the water level stays constant. That's it. That would be a good explanation for what's going on. All you're trying to do is explain, based on the context, hey, what's going on here? Well, they're obviously filling up the pool, then they stop, the water level stays constant for a while, then they drain the pool, so the water level is going to decrease, and then after so many hours, they stop, and so after that point, the water level stays constant. And that's it. Thank you.